Hey everybody, thanks for joining me. My name is Rick. This is HabNormals, episode 66 already. Don't know how the time flew. Got a lot for you today. Habs rookie camp opened this week, and that means the show. I don't know what they're calling it. Rookie showcase, rookie showdown. But games start today, Saturday. What are we? The 13th of September. We got games starting today. Montreal will be playing Winnipeg. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. So I've got that. There's trade rumors still out there. I've got two. One is ridiculous, and one is kind of not ridiculous and a possibility. We'll talk about it. We're gonna play a little bit of Whose Stat Is It? I've got a couple of those, and I got a couple of other things to talk about, and that's all right here at HabNormals, and that starts right now. I'm going to lead off with the main story. I forgot to mention in the little intro, and that is the Canadiens are finally going to honor defenseman Andrei Markov, former Habs defenseman Andrei Markov, known as the General. Markov left in a. He didn't want to leave, and Mark Bergevin didn't seem to want to sign him. They had the money; they could have signed him. He was 10 games shy of 1,000 games with Montreal, and uh, shamefully, Montreal didn't re-sign Markov back in 2017. So I have an article I'm gonna use to discuss a little bit of this. They're going to be honoring Markov on December 3rd. What exactly they're going to do, I don't know. I don't think they're going to retire his number because they would have said that, and there's other players way ahead of him for that. So, but they are going to honor him, and I think it's about time. I believe he's in Montreal like already. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. I think it's like I said, about time. The management, the new management, right? Hughes, Gordon, everybody, they're doing things right. This should have been done probably a long time ago, and they're finally doing things right. And I think it's awesome that they are, they see it from the players' point of view, because this is something that the young players can look at and say, it's what I want for myself in the future. It's motivational, and it is honoring the past and sort of righting a wrong that they did it. Bergevin's administration, Bergevin's, I'm going to call it a regime because he was very controlling. That mistake they made with Markov. So I've got a couple of things to read from an article. It's from the Hockey Writers. And always let me know what you think in the comment section. I would imagine most people are happy about this and feel the same way I do, that it's about time. So let me know what you think. And we'll go to the first thing I've got here, and that is this. And we're going to go here. So, that doesn't work very well for me. This season, Montreal Canadiens will finally pay tribute to one of the most quietly impactful defensemen in franchise history. That's a really great way of putting it, because he was quietly impactful. I remember there was a point they wanted him to be the captain, and he said, "No, it's not. That's not for me. I'd rather, be more behind the scenes than that." And but he was a leader on the team, especially for PK Subban. Like, he was PK Subban's mentor after what was his name? Hal Gill. Hal Gill was the first one, and then it was Markov. And what a duo that was, Markov and Subban. Um, this long overdue recognition gives Montreal a chance to celebrate a player whose loyalty, consistency, and understated excellence made him a cornerstone of the Canadiens for nearly 2 decades. Yeah, I mean that I couldn't say it better myself. So few players embodied steady reliability, quite like Markov. Very true. Drafted in the 6th round in 1998. Imagine, drafted in the 6th round. What a gem to have been found in the 6th round. I don't know who drafted him, who was responsible for that, but that was awesome scouting. He became one of the most successful late round gems in Canadiens history. Markov suited up for 990 NHL games, and all of them in Habs uniform. that level of loyalty is increasingly rare in modern hockey. I don't know if you're saying loyalty, but players playing for just one team, and I guess that is loyalty to some extent. I think mostly it's business and the cap now, and especially you have no choice. But it's extremely rare, and it's one of the reasons his name continues to resonate with fans today. On the ice, Markov was more than just consistent. He was quietly brilliant. His offensive numbers are proof of his skill. He had 119 goals and 453 assists in his career, total that ranks second among Canadiens defensemen in assists, third in goals, and second in games played. Beyond the raw numbers, Markov was the type of defenseman who could control the pace of a game. He was, he quietly did that. He wasn't flashy, yet he was a brilliant defenseman. I can't say enough, and the words aren't coming to me for some reason. I don't know why, but I mean, I just love number 79 out there, and I love the fact that there was no, like, if you take the comparison of him and Subban as partners, one with a huge ego and all that, and Subban, and then you got Markov, who was just quietly led, and it wasn't flashy, wasn't talkative even that much. But on the ice, he showed you who he was. He was a great defenseman, a leader, a guy that can control the game a bit. And, he was the anchor there on defense, a number one defenseman, defensive defenseman, although you look at his numbers, and his numbers were pretty good. And yeah, I don't know. He deserves to be honored. It's about time they do this. And I don't know what else to say. So in closing for Markov, Markov's career with the Canadiens was a study in loyalty, consistency, and quiet brilliance. Though he left under circumstances that frustrated many fans, and it did, because we were not very happy. This was a very stupid move on Bergevin's part to not re-sign him. They had the money. It wasn't an issue of money, but Bergevin didn't want to pay. Bergevin preferred grinding defensemen. I don't think he really liked these, high-end defenseman, because he was a defenseman and he wasn't a high-end number one, number two defenseman. I don't think he liked them, to be very honest with you. I don't think he liked star quality players in general. Anyways, he's not here, so we don't have to worry about that. By honoring him this season, the Canadiens will not only celebrate his impact, but also strengthen the connection between their storied past and their future. And this is very true. It's about time. It's been 8 years since that happened. In the last 8 years, we've talked about Markov and the situation of him leaving with just 10 games left to 1,000, and how it was unjust, to be honest. It was unjust, and they're going to correct it. No, they're not going to put him in the lineup for 10 games, as people have talked about over the years. I think at his age, I don't think that's going to be something. But honoring him in this way, I think, helps make up for it. And as they say, bridges the from 8 years ago to today. And it shows the players that have been here, the players that are here, and the players that will be here under this. I can't think of the goddamn name for it. It's not an administration, but under Gorton and Hughes, they can be confident that they're going to be treated right. And they're going to be just treated right. And that's what players want today. They want to be respected. They want to be treated right and given the opportunity to be their best. And in Montreal, even more so, you can see that if you're a player and want to come here, you're going to get treated right. And you have the opportunity for, sky's the limit if you've got talent, especially. So let me know in the comment section what you thought. No, not about how I put this across, because I don't want criticism. Yeah, let me know what you think about what I said, and how do you feel about Markov, and are you happy that they're going to finally honor Andrei Markov after 8 years of kind of dishonoring him. So let me know in the comment section. So rookie camp opened this week, and yeah, it's going to lead to what I've been looking forward to all week, and that is the rookie showdown games. But the camp opened. I imagine they do like in the big camp physicals, and they weigh them and measure all that stuff, and then they get on the ice and they start to prepare. I've heard already great stuff about Florian Jacki, who is coming into this season 15 pounds heavier. Imagine most of it's muscle. He said good cooking by his mom, this summer. So Florian Jacki, it looks like he's ready, and he's being talked about possibly being able to make the team this season out of camp on the fourth line. So we'll see how that. I wouldn't bet against him. I wouldn't. He is. He's been a surprise since I first heard of him, and then the Habs drafted him, and he's been an amazing surprise in his drive, his determination, his talent level. Players like that. Ivan Demidov is in the rookie camp. Reinbacher is in the rookie camp, so they will be in the games that are starting tonight. I am filming this on Saturday morning, the morning of the first game. So off season is done. I'm officially in season with the start of a game. We got hockey tonight, which is crazy to think about. I'm really looking forward to it. Let's take a look at that prospect showdown stuff. So it's the prospect showdown, it's the rookie showdown, it's the rookie showcase. However you want to say it, that's what it's, because I've heard it all three ways. So we are. Now I don't know how this works because Montreal's going to be playing Winnipeg tonight. Let me get that. So Montreal's playing Winnipeg rookies tonight at 7. Right here on Talking Habs. No, I'm not showing the game, as you guys know, but we'll hang out together, talk in the chat. Some people probably won't have, like, I know it's on RDS is where I'm getting it. I don't know where else it's available. If you can't get it, I'm going to try to do some play-by-play during the game. Haven't done that in a little while. And we're going to have fun. It should be a fun night of hockey. I'm really looking forward to that. So that's tonight at 7 right here on Talking Habs and RDS. And honestly, I don't know if it's on TSN. I got to check because I now have TSN and RDS. So I'm going to check. If it's on TSN, I'd rather it there. So that's tonight. Tomorrow they are, and this one I'm looking forward to. It's a 3 p.m. start, so it's tomorrow afternoon when football is on, nothing we can do. And that is the Toronto Maple Leafs rookies against the Montreal Canadiens rookies. So, as usual, I hate the Leafs. I don't like the rookies any better. So, I'm looking forward to that. So, remember, Sunday afternoon. I heard that Demidov will be in game 1, but I don't know for sure who's going to be in what games. It's early in the morning. I haven't gotten any lineups for tonight's game yet. What else I got here for this? Let me just go back to this. Oh yeah, no, I've got the lineup. It's going to be hard to see because this is kind of not perfect for this, and my eyes aren't the best. So forwards in camp, you got Owen Beck, Ivan Demidov, Will Dineen, Joseph Dunlap, Mark Istapa, Igor Gurianov, something like that. Oliver Kapanen, Philip Mashar, Israel Mianskum, Hayden Papanakis, Vincenz Rohrer. Watch out for that kid. That kid, if you haven't heard of him, I only hear raves about this kid. So watch for him. Number 96, I believe he'll be wearing. Tyler Thorpe, who had a bit of a scuffle with Florian Jacki in their practice. Nothing bad. Luke Tuck, Matthew Wang, and he could play with but his name is Wang. And then Florian Jacki on defense. You got Adam Engstrom, who watch for this kid as well. I think we'll be seeing this kid in the NHL on a call-up at some point this season, and he's the real deal from everything I've read. Carlos Handel, Simon Lavine, Andrew McNeil, excuse me, Malik McGowan, Bryce Pickford, Owen Protz, and David Reinbacher. And in net, we'll have Jacob Fowler. We'll have Arseny Radkov and Mikas. Vekvanigs. I can't remember. He's got a weird name. Mikas Vekvanigs. So those are the goalies. Those are defensemen. Those are the forwards. I don't know who's in the lineup when and not until I get lineups. So I apologize for that. I'm really looking forward to that. It's going to be fun. I'm feeling rusty. I loaded the game and everything, and it was like, oh, I forgot how to do this. So hopefully when the stream starts, I won't forget how to do the game. But I'm just looking forward to it. It should be a lot of fun. All right, let's get back over here. As you can see behind me, it's a bit of a different view because I'm in a smaller box, but you can see it's kind of bare and it's different behind me. Yeah, it's a new season, so I'm in the middle of adjusting my set, as I always do every year. It's going to look new. I haven't figured it quite out yet, but I got some ideas. I've got another little less than a month. It'll be ready for game one. So anyways, if you're wondering, that's what's going on there. As far as Matt's not here again this week. He's still out. He still doesn't have access to a studio. But he'll be back. I just don't know exactly when. But don't worry, Matt will be back. And we're gonna get to some trade rumors that I found online. Two of them in particular. One I think is really ridiculous. I know you'll agree. And the other one is a slight possibility. I don't know if I mentioned this guy way back in the beginning of the off season, but I had made a list and I was going to, I don't know if I did the video, of centers that, potentially Montreal could go after. This guy was on my list, and yeah, we'll talk about it. So the Montreal Canadiens have signed a goaltender to a professional tryout, a PTO. That is Kevin Mandelis. If you've never heard of him, neither had I. So he is 25. He was in the Senators organization, drafted by the Senators in the 6th round. It doesn't say what year. Let's see now. This is being reported though by Frank Saravalli. I don't know if I saw officially that they had done this, but I do believe they have signed him to a PTO. The reason being, because I thought, why, right? So the reason being is that Kakko Kakinen will, if he doesn't make the team out of camp, will have to be waived to be sent down to Laval. There's a good chance Kakinen will get picked up on waivers, and then they'll be stuck without a backup goalie to Jacob Fowler. So they signed Mandelis, who is a Quebec native. He played 3 games for the Senators in 22-23 because of injuries. He had a .916 save percentage and a .329 goals against. The Senators weren't that good back then, so you got to look at it that way. It was a decent, beginning for a young goaltender, and he never got another chance. I don't know why, to be honest. Maybe there's something wrong. Maybe there's something wrong with the character. I doubt it. I don't see why Montreal would have signed him if that was a problem. So we'll see what he looks like in camp. And more than I really feel that if Kakinen doesn't make it out of camp and be the backup, that he will get waived and picked up. And I think they think that too. And it makes sense because goaltenders, listen, Kakinen has NHL experience. So goalies are highly, Edmonton would do okay to maybe pick him up, if they can, that kind of thing. So, I think that's it. It's nothing to this big thing. If he does get a contract, it'll either be a 2-way contract or a 1-way in the AHL. So we'll see what he earns. But it's a good idea. Obviously, Jacob Fowler needs a backup. They wouldn't really have anybody for that. So it gives Fowler a backup that has a little bit of NHL experience. but it at least gives him a backup. Kakinen would be preferable because he can mentor Fowler a little bit in, what the NHL is like, the rigors of the NHL, what it takes, what's required of an NHL goalie, that kind of stuff, right? So we'll see how that works out. But they have signed this guy to a PTO, and I don't know. We'll just see where it goes from there. All right. So last week, we all know Ken Dryden passed away. I did a video about it. So his family, I guess, before the funeral, because I think the funeral happened yesterday in Toronto. So they put a guest book you could sign. I guess at the funeral home, but you can do it online. So I put this out. So I wrote my condolences to the Dryden family, his friends, and former teammates. Ken Dryden was the goalie of my childhood. His iconic stance with his arms on the butt of his stick. When I think of Ken Dryden, I picture him in that pose and remember all the great and exciting memories he gave me as a Habs fan. A great athlete, a great goalie, a great man. Thank you, Ken. You will forever be remembered. Rest in peace. So I put that up. It has to be approved, and it did get approved, so it's out there if anybody goes to look. I'll try to remember to put the link in the description. I don't know if I can go back to it and find it, to be honest with you, but you can probably search for that if you want to put, sign in the guest book like I did. So that's what I had done there. Also, just to let you know, if you go to our Don't Puck with Media website, don'tpuckwithmedia.com, I write blogs there, and I wrote one for Ken Dryden. So if you want to read that, it's the only place you can go get that. So at don'tpuckwithmedia.com, which I think there's a link in the description, but it's very easy. Don'tpuckwithmedia.com. Go to the blogs, and it's the second to last one that was put up there. I know Eric put one up yesterday, and I put one up the other day. So go check that out. Appreciate that. Let me know what you think. If you read it, let me come back to this and let me know what you think in the comments. I'd appreciate that as well. So a little bit of advertising here for us. Merch, and you can see there's that link that's always underneath me there. But we're doing a September promotion. So this time you get a free daily fix of Bleu Blanc Rouge mug with every purchase of $100 or more. You don't have to do anything. If you go to that website, you start putting in your cart. As soon as there's $100 in your cart, the mug will get added to your cart, and you'll get a free mug. Head over there at Talking Habs Media Shop .fourthwall.com/en.cad for Canada, and I imagine it's USD if you're in the States. So check that out for September. Let's see what else I got here. All right, let's do some whose stat is it anyway. Last week I put up one, I believe, and I'd forgotten to write down, but I went back and I think I figured it out that it was Grant Fuhr. Nobody sent in a guess anyways in the comments, but it was Grant Fuhr last week. So this week we'll start with this one. If you think you know it, leave a comment in the comment section and let me know. No prizes, just let me know. We'll see if anybody can guess these. So this player was a center, played for the Islanders, the Sabres, and the Rangers. He is a Hockey Hall of Famer, one of the 100 best players ever. And I don't know what those trophies are. I believe there's a Calder in there, but I'm not 100% sure. 468 goals, 545 assists, and 865 games played. Do you know who that player is? Let me know in the comment section. And I got one more for you, because this one for me, easy. The next one, not so much. So we'll put this one in. So this player, also a center, played for the Canucks and the Bruins, won no trophies, had 209 goals and 384 assists in 677 games for the Canucks and Bruins. Center for the Canucks and Bruins. Do you know who this player is? Let me know in the comment section. And if someone gets it, I'll give you a shout out next week. And I will reveal the names next week in case nobody gets it. So I'm trying not to cheat, because it's easy. You can cheat, and I can't tell, but I appreciate it if you don't cheat, and we'll see if we can get somebody. And maybe down the line we'll be doing this and maybe handing out a prize or something. for it every week. So, do you know who these players are? Leave a guess in the comment section. All right, so my new show, because I'm not going to call it a podcast, I'm not going to put this out audio only. So my new show called Habs Then and Now starts in 3 weeks. So 3 weeks from now, I'm going to be doing, basically I'm talking about, it's then and now, right? So I'm going to talk about some old stuff when I, was growing up and just through the history of the Habs. Go through 1 or 2 things a week, and I'm going to talk about it from my standpoint, what I remember, that kind of stuff. And then I'm going to talk about now what's going on. The first episode will be just before training camp opens. Wait a second, no, just before preseason games, I guess. So I'm going to talk about that. Where what's going on at the moment, and then for future episodes, any of the big stories, whatever, I'll tackle whatever's happening now, but we'll do a then and now type of thing. So hopefully it'll just be me, by the way. It won't be with Matt. And the key here is it's going to be on the other channel. So you got to go over to Don't Puck with Media. Link is in the description. Give it a subscribe, and that way you'll be notified when the new show happens. So please do that. Head over. Subscribe to the channel, and then you'll be able to, you'll know when the new show happens. Not that I won't talk about it again, but so check that out. Let me know what you think about the logo also in the comment section. And that's gonna be, I'm looking forward to it. I've been wanting to do this for like a long time, but never really figured it out how I would do it. And then Alex, we were having a conversation, and Alex mentioned something about I don't know, his Time Machine or something like that for the title. And for some reason, the whole format clicked in my head. And so I'm going to try to pull that off. And it starts in exactly 3 weeks from now, December 3rd, which is the night that they're going to honor. Wait a second, October 3rd. Not December, October 3rd. And I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully you guys are too. And you'll check it out. I also want to remind everybody the fantasy pool is about to start. I still got 3 spots open. I need to fill them. If you want to be in the fantasy pool with the possibility of winning a $25 off at the store, let me know. Send an email to talkinghabs@gmx.com. That link is also in the description. And let me know you're interested. I'll send you the link to go and grab a team. So please do that. I got 3 spots open, and I need to fill them. The draft will be October 6th. October 6th is going to be the draft. So, if you can do that. Even if you can't, you can still, the team will get drafted on auto draft. But if you're going to be a manager that manages the team and doesn't just whatever, please send me an inquiry at talkinghabs@gmx.com. I really appreciate that. Let's move on to the final thing. The final thing, I'm gonna go here for a second. Final thing is trade rumors that are out there. One I have is plausible, and one I have is not. And you'll see why when I get to it. We'll get to the first one that's plausible. I don't know if I actually brought this guy up in a conversation on screen, but I know I've mentioned it to the guys in the chat. And that is this here. Canadiens have spoken to the Bruins about acquiring Pavel Zacha. He's a center. He's their second line. He can play first. I mean, he's played first line. He's not your first line center, but he's played first line, our second line center. It is Boston. It's not a traditional thing that Montreal will trade with Boston, especially anything significant. They might make, moves that aren't important, but this would be a significant trade. I don't know what exactly Boston would be asking back. I've got some stuff on it. It's from an article by Blaine Podvav, the hockey writer. So I like his writing. And I've met him. I was in a show with him once. I don't know the validity. I think it's valid because I've seen it reported by more, like here, the source is Marco D'Amico. Blaine Podvav is putting it out. I don't think if it's just crazy speculation that he writes about it, and I don't think Marco D'Amico talks about it unless there's some validity to it. That the Habs have probably talked to the Bruins about it, right? So Zacha has 2 years left on his deal at $4.75 million. So that's very doable. Montreal has a little less than that on the cap right now, but they send a player the other way. You don't have to send a player with a high salary, and you're easily under the cap, and it works. His last 3 seasons ago, 57 points. 2 seasons ago, 59 points. And then last season, which was a horrible season for the Bruins, he still had 47 points. So not a huge drop-off, but a small one. I think, if he's a guy that could come in here, play second-line center, and put up 55 to 65 points, I think that's just fine. So, and then you've got not much commitment. It's 2 seasons. It allows Michael Hage to develop if that's your guy, or allows you to find, you got 2 more years to find that guy, which is, I think that's something Montreal might do. I don't think it's because I'm talking about it here. I don't think necessarily something's going to happen. But here's what Blaine Podman says, and this is from his article. So they were talking about Crosby, obviously. So while he's a long shot to come to Montreal, other players who could be more affordable and are actually available could come here. So I guess an NHL source, which is Jimmy Murphy, he's an okay source, that the Canadiens have inquired about Boston Bruins for Pavel Zacha. The Canadiens definitely have interest in Zacha and have inquired about him, but they're not the only team. Several teams, I'm told the Flames are one, continue to express interest in him. That doesn't really mean anything. Other teams are interested. Doesn't mean that if the Habs want him, they can't get him. Murphy went on to note that prospects Joshua Roy and Oliver Kapanen, as well as defenseman Jaden Struble, are names that continue to be bantered about in NHL trade chatter regarding the Canadiens' search for a second-line center. Any of these players could be a great starting point in any negotiation. Hughes would likely need to add a pick and or another prospect to make it happen. While it is far more plausible that Zacha joins the Canadiens, it is still remote, as the Canadiens and Bruins are bitter divisional and historical rivals that aren't known for trading with one another, which I say all the time. The Leafs and the Bruins don't often trade with one another because of that. They're bitter divisional and historical rivals. Although with the Leafs, they weren't divisional rivals necessarily till whenever they did come into the division. But for many years, they weren't in the same conference, I don't think, if I remember. Yeah, I mean, this is something that could happen. I kind of don't think it will at this point, but it could I kind of think that might be like a training camp type of trade or early in the season where Montreal gives the opportunity to the guys that, like Doc and whoever they were planning to in camp, but it doesn't work out. And it's clearly not going to work out. If that's the case, I could see them making this trade, or the season starts and 10 games in, it's clearly not working out. Or, maybe a little later, but, in the first 20 games, because teams typically in the first 20 games evaluate what they've got, and then you might see some movement. Then they might reach out for somebody like Zacha. We'll see. I don't know. But that's the rumor. That's the only one that's kind of plausible here. The other one, which is ridiculous, and you might have seen it, but we all know Kirill Kaprizov. The rumor is he turned down $16 million per season. Says Guerin not happy. Apparently, this might not be true. That they're kind of saying they don't know the team, the Wild. They're saying they don't know where it came from. That this got out there. The agent is saying that. The team is saying that. So did he turn down $16 million? But they're saying if he actually did, they're looking to move him, which I don't really believe. I find that very hard to believe. Montreal's name came up right away. But if this is true that he turned down $16 million, how is Montreal going to afford that? And who do you have to send to get Kirill Kaprizov, you're going to have to send some of your core players, like without a doubt. And I don't think that's something Montreal would do anyway. But just the fact that he turned down $16 million and you think Montreal's going to go trade for him? I don't think so. And anyways, isn't he a winger and he's not a center? So another reason why I don't think they would do that. Because it doesn't fully solve your problem. Right? If you're not getting that second line center, why are you doing this? And a player that you're going to pay more than $16 million? I don't think so. So that's the ridiculous one. What do you think about it? And let me know in the comment section. Mostly about the Zacha one, because that is possible. That could happen. So what do you think about having Pavel Zacha as a Montreal Canadien? And what do you think about this ridiculous, and I mean ridiculous, trade rumor that's out there? Would I like to have a Kaprizov on the team? Of course. But I don't want to have any player that makes $16 million, to be honest. It's too much money, and it causes problems. And we know that. It causes problems. And how do you fill out a roster around a player making $16 million? It hasn't worked for the teams that have tried to do stuff like that. And we saw sort of what, with Carey Price's number, how that was a hindrance at times, right? So anyways, let me know what you think. And that's all I got for you. This is the last pod before the training camp opens. Because it's the 13th today. Training camp opens on the 18th. So just 5 days away. So I don't know what we're going to be talking about next week, but it'll be stuff related to camp and the news around camp and any stories that do pop up. And hopefully Matt will be able to be back with us next week. If not, I will be back for that. And hopefully that's okay with you guys. Till then, though, let me know what you think in the comment section about anything I said here. I appreciate that. Hit the thumbs up or the like button if you like the video, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and then you'll be notified whenever there's a video that I do. And that is it. Till next week. Have a great week, everybody. Stay safe out there. Peace out. And just in general, be good out there. And we'll see you next time. Go Habs, go. And thanks for watching. Appreciate it.